Good morning, everybody. It's John Davis, Lachlan Highlands Farm. I am down here in the creek bottom in this area that we're clearing up for silvopasture. And the sun is out. It's like 25 degrees, 26 degrees, something like that. I'll take it. It's beautiful. I am dropping trees today. I've got a couple of buddies coming over in a few weeks to help me out with chopping the trees up. I think we're gonna chopping the trees up. Oh my gosh. Chipping the trees. I think we're gonna rent a Bandit 15 XP, which is a huge wood chipper. We've got one that runs off our tractor, which is a nice size. It's a good machine. But if you've got to clear, you know, all of this, you need a much bigger machine to get it done just from a throughput standpoint. So that's pretty cool. So today I'm just gonna be walking up and down this hill, the hill I keep looking at over there, see if I can show it to you guys. I've shown you this before. There's the old 7.3, that hill right there. I'm gonna drop a bunch of those trees, except for the ones that have the yellow tape on them. I wanna try to save the ones with the yellow tape. Those are good ones. I do have to say the 7.3 looks good in its natural habitat. Of course, had to get it started this morning. Didn't plug it in last night. That was a bit of a production, but you know, that's how these things go. Let me show you my chainsaw gear. So today's saws, people like to see saws. It's a good thing. Today's saws, I've got my little MS250 from Steel. Honestly, this is not my favorite saw. I have air filter clogging issues with this guy. I think I made a mistake buying it. It's a fine little saw for the homeowner, but for pro use, I don't know. Not saying that I'm a pro, but you know, normal suburban, normal people activities, not crazy people like us. Normal people activities include, you know, cutting up some limbs when they fall off a tree or bucking small amounts of firewood or whatever. But when you're doing woodlot clearing or the amount of wood that we cut, even on our farm, you know, the features of a pro saw really are nice, but it gets the job done. It's a lot lighter than this behemoth, which I love this saw. This is a good one. This is a Steel 462, which is a great saw. Great for cutting down big trees, and the only downside, and bucking too, honestly, the only downside to it is that it's freaking heavy. So lugging this thing up and down a hill is a bit of a production, but it gets the job done. And man, it runs like it is fast. So it's a good saw. If you like Husqvarna, I'm sorry, go subscribe to another channel. Sorry, it's just the way it is. I think the Germans have outsawed the Swedes. Controversial take, but hey man, I've run Steels for years. I like them. And don't say anything about that video where I got the saw stuck in the tree in North Carolina. I had used a Husqvarna the day before, and I think it tainted me and caused me to make mistakes. These things happen. I don't know what to say. All right, as far as other stuff. I don't know if you can see. I do prefer to wear Arborist pants. So I don't know if you can see in the video here. I'm not sure how to like manipulate this. Well, here, let me show you. Okay, yeah, it's kind of an awkward camera angle, but these are Arborist pants. They're made by some British company. Arbortech, I think, maybe? Yeah, Arbortech. And these were not cheap. I think these pants were like 450 bucks. However, the entire thing, including all the way down to the bottom of the leg, is chainsaw protection. And they breathe really nice. They've got all kinds of pockets on them. They're nice pants. I don't like wearing chainsaw chaps. I'll wear them in a pinch, but especially with all the brush cutting we do, it is way safer, I think, to wear the chainsaw pants. It's kind of a buy once, cry once type thing. I like them. They're cool in the summer. I try not to do brush clearing or wood cutting in the summer, but, you know, they work out pretty well, so I like them. Do you need them? No, probably not. I mean, you know, I've got these guys too. And the one thing I will say is that Husqvarna does make better chainsaw chaps. I just have these steel chaps and they're where they're at. Helmet, of course, super important. I've had stuff fall out of trees and hit me on the head, not wearing a helmet, and I can hear the cows mooing up there. Just by the grace of God, it didn't kill me, right? So especially if you're cutting trees, especially ones that are questionable, like dead ones like we have, you gotta wear a helmet. I did get an idea from Wrangler Star, and Tom, you know which Tom you are, who calls me out about all the things in my property of ideas I get from other YouTubers. Hey man, I'm a millennial. I'm a child of the internet. You do what you got to do. But this is a feller's belt. I put this thing together and man, I am so glad that I did. I will be wearing it. I carry a handsaw on it. Let me make sure you guys can actually see this. There we go. I carry a handsaw on it. I carry a timber tape for when I'm bucking for firewood or for my chainsaw mill. Tourniquet, which I got to put in there. My wedges and a axe holder. And this makes things, oh, and a safety whistle as well, of course. This makes things so much easier. I think this harness, for years I ran a DIY one and I finally killed it. I bought this harness from Weaver. They're an Ohio company that makes horse tack and stuff like this. I love this thing. It makes this whole job so much easier. I've got all my stuff where I need it. And most importantly, I can carry my medical on me, which is a big deal. So, all right, I'm gonna fire these saws up, get started, and start chopping some trees. All right, so the plan of battle here is gonna be to start at the top of start at the bottom of the hill and fell the trees downhill. So as I advance up the hill, I'm felling the trees on top of one another. And yeah, it's gonna create a bit of a mess, but the plan is when I have friends to help, and I've got the big chipper, we're gonna skid those logs out and get them down to the chipper and get it going. But it shouldn't be too bad. These aren't huge trees. They're pretty straight. We just gotta drop them and get them on the ground. A lot of elm, a lot of beech, a lot of ash, which is gonna die anyway. The elm's gonna die from the Dutch elm disease, whatever it is. So let's get started. Let's get going. After all of that gear review, I would put up the drone thinking, I'm gonna look awesome cutting down trees with all my stuff on, and I made some stupid mistakes, or made a stupid mistake, which you'll see. So I've never claimed to be a professional tree cutter. I've cut down a lot of trees in my life, but I don't do it for a living, and I've been cutting down trees since my teenage years, right? So it's one of those things where I'm always learning, even at 40 years old, and you just gotta keep on learning and have humility, and most importantly, be safe. Anyway, these trees are all snagged up together, and they're super, super close. I'm trying to save that maple tree to the right of the frame. And this tree that I'm cutting, I wish I could have seen the aerial angle when I was actually cutting on the tree, because from this angle, the face cut you can see looks like it's pointing directly at that maple. And if you know anything about cutting down trees, you use what's called the gun sights on the saw, which is really just a line drawn on the saw, to make the face cut in a way that it steers the tree to where you want it to fall. Where I should have wanted it to go, where I wanted it to go, was that stump that's directly downhill from me. But again, what you can't see is how that tree is leaning, and from the ground, it looked like it was going to clear. It looked like it was just going to slide right by that tree. So it's interesting, gravity and the crown of the tree always has a, huge influence, huge say in how things are actually going to happen. So I created a Widowmaker. This is definitely no good. Widowmakers are hung up trees that could fall at any moment, and they're super dangerous, that's why they're called Widowmakers. Now, the best thing that a man can have on hand to solve a stupid mistake is heavy equipment. And I went and grabbed the mini-X, which was up on the road that I'm building, and this is the safest way to take care of this. For snags and storms and whatnot, I just would have cut down that other maple tree and had them both fall at the same time. But I wanted to save that maple tree. We have a fair amount of sugar maples that have grown up. They are very, very nice shade trees, which, if you recall, this is going to be silvopasture, and I want to have about, 20% shade for, I'm sorry, I take that back. I want to have 80% shade for my animals, which still allows for grass to grow and that type of thing. But these big canopy trees, spaced out, they work out really well. My excavator weighs 9,000 pounds. What's hard to tell from the video is that there is a huge branch, which I think is what wound up steering this thing into that tree. There we go. You can kind of see that huge split at the top. Huge branch hung up in my maple, which, by the way, is no worse for wear. Maple trees are super strong, but finally got that thing pushed out with the excavator. It just goes to say, from the ground, honest to goodness, that tree looked like it was going to go the direction I wanted to go, and the plan just didn't work out. Even professional arborists have issues with hanging up trees sometimes. At least that's what I tell myself, so I feel better. But be safe out there, gentlemen. Nothing is worth your life, your wife, your kids, your family. Everybody relies on you. If you get a tree hung up and you need to go get some equipment or hire somebody with an equipment, take your time. Don't hurt yourself. Be safe. I was gonna film over by the truck because it's warming up, but I forgot how loud it is. I got a lot done. It is 12:35. I'm gonna break for lunch. I've had a bunch of trees come down, only a few snags. Couple things went unexpected, but I mean, obviously I see the first one on video when I got that one tree hung up. But for the most part, just kind of taking my time, safely using the excavator to get this thing taken care of and getting all this stuff done. I'm gonna launch the drone real quick and show you what I've gotten done so far. I'm pretty excited about it. It's always hard to adequately show how much work was done just in a picture. I know it doesn't look like much, but oh my gosh, for one guy in 4 hours and change, especially with some of the mishaps I had of some tricky trees. I had the one that was hung up. I had some others that I had to do some fancy wedging on to make sure that they wouldn't fall backwards. I got a lot of work done, and especially when I pan the camera around. In the relatively short amount of time I've been working on this section, I'm just blown away by what a single guy can get done with the right equipment. It makes me feel even more in awe of my ancestors who did this with, I don't know, hand saws and whatnot. But anyway, I'll keep you along for the ride on this project. It's a really good time. LachlanHighlandsFarm.com. Check us out, order meat, and most importantly, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching.